And welcome to another Thursday Night Live. I'm your host, Aurora Moon. And tonight we are doing what is a sour jar spell, right? And I thought I had something written out, but I don't. That's okay. I've got my ingredient list and that's all I need. I thought I had something else out and I'm looking for it and I can't seem to find it, and that's fine. That's fine. But just so we know what we do before we get started, sorry, I'm just moving a few things around just so I don't knock anything over while I'm trying to do this. There we go. Anyways, we are doing a sour jar spell, and what a sour jar spell is I don't want to call it a gentle curse, but it's more like a hex. Okay, so our sour jar would be more of a hex, so kind of putting a little bit of a I don't know what the technical term of hex is. I mean, definition term. They'll have to look it up. But for myself, when I'm doing a sour jar spell, because I've done them before, okay, is when you've come across somebody that is very, very difficult to deal with. And it doesn't matter what you do and how you've tried it, it's not going well. Okay. And what a sour jar can do is it's like a few steps up from your freezer spell. So your freezer spell can freeze somebody in their spot, put it in the back of your fridge or freezer, and it can stay there, whatever, and out of sight, out of mind kind of idea. But a sour jar is a little different. You can use candle wax to put it over top. That depends on how you want to do it. You can tie it up. Okay. You can tape it down, duct tape if you don't have a candle. Okay. But usually sour jar spells usually are bigger. Okay. So this particular jar I had on the side. Okay. And it's a pickle jar. I washed it out, but it still has that pickle smell in it. I kept it for a reason, for that exact reason, because what the pickle will do is it's a sour. Okay. So think of anything that's sour for your sour jar. Okay. So if you're doing this on somebody in specific, okay, somebody's really gotten under your skin, you've tried everything, whatever, and you've had no success with it, this is kind of your next step. It's kind of saying, don't mess with me. Because this is what's going to happen. Now, there's ways of doing sour jar spells. For instance, this one is going to be a sour jar spell done that the only way to reverse it is if the person or people involved that I have in here does good in return. Okay? So if somebody's done you wrong, okay, and you're upset with them, but you're beyond upset with them and you're trying to make reason with them and you're not getting any reason, whatever, okay? This is kind of a perfect way of taking action without fully cursing. Okay. So in this particular jar, what I'll be doing is I will be putting the person or person's names in this jar. Okay. And if it's for somebody specific, you want as much detail as you can. Okay. So you're going to want, if you have a picture, you're going to use a picture. But if not, you need your a name, full name if you can, and date of birth. Okay. And if you can get a tag lock, which is something that represents them, which is can be a picture, it can be their hair, like a lock of hair. It can be something that they gave you personally, okay, that you can put in here. But if you don't have that, a name, okay, get as much detail, name, phone number, address, type idea as much as you can in here, okay? But before you do that, you're going to add your ingredients. So right now I'm going to take off my lid I can already smell the pickle, and I don't like pickles. And as you can see, I already have something in here. Well, I've got milk, because what happens when you mix anything sour with milk? It gets sour, right? So if you're never sure where to start, that is your perfect starting ingredient. Okay. Now, if you don't have milk on you, that's fine. You don't need milk, but I use milk because it's your perfect, whether or not you put vinegar or anything in it, it's gonna sour. Okay. Now, before we get started, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a few of the ingredients that I have here. Okay. That got my list so I don't forget what it is. Okay. So my base is milk. My next ingredient I would use would be vinegar because it's souring. Okay. You put vinegar in your mouth, even talking about salt and vinegar chips, and you get that cringe in your cheeks, right? You know what it does. That's what it's going to do with this milk. Okay. So I would put vinegar in. If I don't have vinegar, and or because I like to add extra sour, would be lemon juice. Now this lemon juice has been sitting. It's not been in the fridge. No, I have it out souring. Okay? So imagine put lemon juice in milk. It's going to sour, right? So I've got that. Lime juice souring as well. Okay? That's a really good one to use if you don't have lemon or vinegar as well. Okay? Then we're going to move over to your hot spices. Okay, so think cayenne pepper, think Tabasco type stuff. Okay, your chili peppers, your chili powder. Okay, that's added to your soups and stews and stuff like that to give it that extra hot taste, right? Really, really steam it up, right? Wasabi, okay, horseradish, anything that has that sauerkraut, like that sour tasting, anything that that would mix in with milk would leave a sourness to it. Okay, um, but then you can also use peppercorns. Okay, so peppercorns is used for conflict. Okay. It can stir up some nasty fights. Okay. Um, your hot sauce and your chili powder. Now, your chili powder, just so I take it back one step for a second, is your chili powder can cause misery. So all those other ones, like your cayenne powder, that gets under the skin. Okay, right? Your salts can be under the skin, right? If it gets on your skin or on a wound, it can really irritate it. Okay. Um, so chili powder can be used for that. Cayenne powder, besides being hot under the collar and hot tempered and stuff like that, you can use it to cause anxiety. Okay. Lavender. Okay. In this type of spell, it can be used for depression, lack of sleep, instead of the opposite, right? That we normally would use it for calmness and to promote sleep. This, we're using it for the opposite. Okay. Catnip. What happens when you give catnip to your cat? Causes them to be distracted, right? They're playful, they're becoming distracted doing something else. It's the same thing with your catnip. Okay. Mint. I've got fresh mint growing in the back. I've got lots of mint. I love mint. Mint is great in a sour spell to cause nightmares. Okay. So it depends on how many nightmares you want to cause. Put mint in it. Okay. Ginger. Okay. In a regular spell, ginger will help promote, add a little bit of extra oomph to your spells. Okay. But not in this. Okay. In this, it causes bitterness. Okay. So if you have two people that is going into this jar, you can cause bitterness between them by using ginger. Okay. And if that's the case, you would take, if you wanted conflict to happen between two people, you would take their names of the people that you would have, and you would face them together to cause problems. Okay. If you want them to be disgusted with each other, not look at each other, you have it reversed, right? Have their backs turning on each other, getting under each other. Okay. Let's go to mustard seeds. Mustard seeds causes strife. Okay. And discord. Okay. Then we've got glass. It cuts, can cut deep, right? Depending on how big of a glass piece you get, right? Remember to hold on to your glass pieces. Now you don't get rid of it. Okay. If you are collecting some things to go into your witchcraft cupboard, having glass comes in handy because it forces people to take notice, right? If they're cutting somebody, you can get them to, you use it to cut. Okay. So if somebody's cutting you, you can do it to cut them back, right? Cut them out of your life, right? This you're looking to hurt, right? So that's what glass would do for there. Let me see, what else do I have? Patchouli. Patchouli causes illness, okay? And myrrh boosts this, okay? Myrrh can accentuate a curse. Now, I do have a curse on here. If it is up to you whether or not you want me to share that with you guys, okay? Because I don't, I wouldn't want to add a curse to this, um, unless you really have to. Unless you've tried everything, okay? You could add a curse to this, but do you really need to take it that far? Okay. In some situations, yes. Okay. If somebody's caused you harm, a pedophile, with your kid or something like that, oh, freaking yes, I'm going after them. Right. But if it's just somebody in your life that you just want to cut out of your life, set those intentions with the glass instead of cutting them. Okay. Making them hurt. Okay. It depends on who this is, whether or not you go really, really deep with it, or whether or not you don't. Okay, will share the curse words on my Facebook group page if you guys want me to. You got to let me know, okay? Because I'm not just going to do that just because I don't want it to get into the wrong hands. Okay, I'd rather it not. Okay, because I don't set ill intentions for no reasons. Okay, I try to heal the situation first before a sour jar is attempted. Okay, I'm not above it. I've done sour jars before for people. Okay, I can do a sour jar if for you were somebody, but it costs. Just saying that it's not a free service that I do. Okay, it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and I don't just do it just for the sake of doing it. Okay, there has to be a reason for it. Just because somebody called you something, that doesn't warrant for me to go that deep into it. It does if you want me to and you pay for it. I'm sorry, like that's just my time and effort costs me money, right? I share so much of my time and effort, but this stuff does take a lot out of me that I don't just take it lightly, okay? So, for this, if you are doing a sour jar for this, okay, then at this time I want you to write or think of the person that you're doing this for. Okay. So I'm doing this for somebody. Okay. Um, And once you have that information, okay, if that's what you're doing, if you're doing it for yourself or doing it for um, you know what I mean? If you're doing it for yourself on somebody that you know, then you already know the names. Now, if you want them to see each other differently, put their names one above each other and then fold it in half. That way, one name is upside down, the other way is upright. Okay. Because that way you're going to get them to see each other at a different angle. If it's a couple of people, or if it's a couple that you're looking to do this to, okay. If it's a single person, obviously not. You just put it in the way that you need to. Yes, thank you, Tamara. I appreciate that. Oh yes, mustard. Oh, what does yes, you're right, Mel. Um also oh, I forgot to grab it. Sesame seeds. Oh, no, poppy seeds, not sesame seeds. Poppy seeds can cause confusion as well, okay? So just so you guys know. So if you have a name of somebody, okay, you can even try it. Say it's a family member that's really bugging you and you don't want to have anything to do with them, put them in there, okay? Bam. Okay, so now we're gonna get to souring. Okay, so now I got that on the bottom. I'm gonna, depends on how much vinegar I want to add, but because I'm adding other stuff to it, so my vinegar is to sour, right? Same thing with my lemon juice. I want it to sour. So because I'm already using some vinegar, having lemon juice, I don't need to have a lot of each of them because it's going to be sour enough, right? Okay. I'm going to squeeze a little bit in there. Okay. Going to cause some conflict. Peppercorns. Now, just so you know, I clean my space before I even get going. Okay. I do have my incense here that I want to get going. Though while I'm doing this, if I can get this to work first. And that's because I want to add my offering to my god and goddess that I'm using tonight. Just waiting for that to get going. There we go. And I always like to use my empowerment herb for this. Okay. Because to me, it gives me power while I'm doing this. Okay. I'm going to add some conflicts. Okay. Now, I can use my spoon, my little spoons. Okay. You can pour it in, whatever. Depends on how much conflict you want. Okay. Got some conflict going on. Oh, I got some. Don't have Frank's hot, but I got Tabasco. It's going to get a little heated. Things are getting a little heated. I try to remind myself to move this stuff to the side so I'm not forgetting what I'm using, right? Okay, now I'm going to use some chili powder for some misery. It cause some added oomph there. And then I'm going to add some cayenne powder, add a little bit more heat, and to cause some anxiety. Okay. Now, if you don't want to say this out loud, say you're somewhere with somebody or there's other people, roommates or whatever, and you just want to do it silently, you can say it in your head. Okay. You don't have to say it out loud. I'm saying it out loud so you guys can hear. You guys know what I'm doing. Okay. So we got, I'm going to add a little bit of lavender. If you don't have the herbs, you guys can use the oil. It's fine. Okay. If you've got it in oil, that's fine. Any of this, okay? And then I'm going to offer the rest to Hecate. There we go. So there's some more lavender in here, okay? depression, lack of sleep. Okay. Catnip. Where's my catnip? Oh, distraction. Getting lost in the shuffle stuff, right? Add a little bit of distraction. There we go. Okay. Because remember, catnip or cats don't need a lot of catnip in order to become distracted. Mint. Add nice fresh nightmares daily, every night until this is resolved. Okay. When this is resolved, this spell will dissolve. That's my intention. Okay. This needs to get fixed first before anything is settled. Okay. Because I do not wish harm on this person for eternity. I just want for them to see what's going on for themselves. Okay. So I've got mint in there. So they're not going to sleep well. They're going to have nightmares until this is resolved. Okay. Yeah, a lot. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to add some ginger. This is going to add a little bit of bitterness. It is what it is. Okay. Okay. Then we got some mustard seeds. So yes, strife and discord also causes confusion, the same as poppy seeds. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to add some glass. Because I want this to be felt. Okay. I'm going to add maybe a couple because I want it to be really felt. Okay. Okay. I'm going to add some salt because I'm going to get under the skin. I am going to be misery. For misery. Okay. And then I didn't talk about this yet. Calamus root. Calamus root is about control. Okay. Now, if you use it in a mind control spell or you want the truth, calamus root is usually used. Okay. So in this case, I want the truth to come out. I want there to be a sense of control for me. I want the outcome to be what I need it to be. So I'm going to control the outcome from inside. Get inside their head. Okay. Patchouli. Again, all this is going to be taken care of until, or all of this is going to continue until things are rightfully taken care of. Okay. Now I'm going to add a little bit of myrrh because that's going to make this potent. A little dropper. And that's going to boost the curse, boost the sour jar, however you're looking at this, okay? Oh, do you love the smell? Okay. And I think that's it. Vinegar, lemon, lime, peppercorns, hot sauce. Oh, crushed peppers. You can add. I'm just going in. That can get heated arguments. Okay. Again, it is only going to get heated until this is all resolved. In my favor. Sorry. I'm just going to say it. It's going to be resolved in my favor. Otherwise, this is going to continue. Okay. Now, to end. Okay. Now, there's a few ways you can do it. Like I said, I'm looking for my lid. There it is. Okay. I got it. I'm just looking to make sure I didn't forget anything. Glass. Nope. I think I got everything. Okay. You're going to put the lid on. Now, I'm going to shake it. Okay, and you can already see how it's starting to look, right? You know that lemon, lime, vinegar with milk is not good. Okay, now this one, okay, now you got to remember everything in here except for the glass, okay, is safe outside. Okay, you don't want somebody stepping on the glass. Now, if you want to bury it in your yard, you are more than happy to bury it. Okay, bury it away from whoever. Okay, or you can get string like this. Okay, we're going to cut it. Because if all of it gets resolved, I don't have a problem with taking it apart and dissolving of it. But until then, I'm not going to. I'm going to continue this, right? So I got it. Now, this is one way of doing it, okay? I should tie it. That would make it a little easier. Okay, because I want to tie it underneath, okay? Okay. Woo! Okay, hold on. You can tie it up like that. Now you can put candle wax on it to solidify it if you wish. That's not working very good. Okay, so I might, if your string's not working, you can do it another way. You don't have to do it the way that I was trying to. I was hoping it was going to work, okay, but it didn't. So this lets me know, okay, that I'm not to touch it, okay. I know that there's something brewing in here, and I'm not going to touch it now. I might leave it, and I might end up putting some wax on it. Not sure yet, okay. But from start to finish, this is pretty well how you do a sour jar spell, okay. It's very easy. It's doesn't take a lot of doesn't take a lot of time. As you can see, it's only been a half an hour that I've been talking, okay. So it doesn't take very long, and this would have been done a lot sooner if I hadn't been talking to you guys, right? If I was just doing it myself, it would have taken probably 15 minutes. But you want to make sure that every intention that you're putting in, every ingredient that you're putting in here, you want to make sure that there's an intention set, okay? Feel it. You know where this is going, okay? So you feel it. Allow yourself to feel it, okay? And then put it where you need to place it. If it's one that you are going to dispose of, if and when results take effect, then please do so. Okay, you can keep it closer to you. Okay, if not, any ones that I do are I hide. I hide. Nobody knows where they are in this house except for me. And I might have to move them when if I ever move from here. But until then, this is where it's going to be set. Okay, and if you're not ready to put candle wax on it, if you're not ready to do any of that stuff and you still want to maybe add to it, don't mix the ingredients. Just put your lid on top and set your intentions and put your intentions. And if you're guided to put something more in there, then put something more in there. When you're complete, then say you're complete and then remove it from your space. Okay. Do not keep on going back to it over and over again. Once it's complete, keep it complete and dispose of it the way that you need to. If your results happen and you can dispose of it, you can dispose of it down the toilet. This has glass, so I would straight it first. Okay. I wouldn't just toss it down the toilet. Okay. Or I wouldn't just dispose of it outside where there's glass. I would make sure that I took the glass out first. And more than likely, I would be using gloves to do so. Okay. But everybody does it differently. You can bury it in a forest away, okay? But make sure that it's not in a place where kids can get at it, okay? Or animals can get at it. You don't want them getting sick. You don't want them getting hurt, right? That's why it's easier to do it on your own property if you can. If you can't, you can keep it in your home, okay? But just keep it in a safe spot where nobody's going to get to it, nobody's going to touch it, and nobody's going to get curious with it, okay? Especially if you have kids in the house, you don't want that, right? So that's where that goes. Did anybody have any questions? I'm just going to tilt my head over and see if anybody's asking any questions. Nobody. And it's very nice to see you all here tonight. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Always appreciate you guys. But if there's no questions, I'm going to sign off for you guys tonight. And I will catch you next Monday at 8 for the weekly collective reading. And on Thursday next week, because we're going into July, right? I'm going to be doing, I think it's the millionaire oil. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh, thank you, Shannon. You guys are amazing. Always. I'm so grateful for all of you guys. So thank you so much. And if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. It always helps me out. Always. Okay. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I will see you next week. Ciao for now.